What is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a quick update in regards to some changes that are coming to the game, but changes that we've already seen, but they just released a low-key Marvel Strike Force blog post here on this, so definitely some more information to tell, but as well giving us kind of the heads up on what's going on. So this is called Commander's Journey Upcoming Changes. So we're just gonna go through this, guys, and I'll let you know my thoughts as well as we go through. So more and more, the team has been dedicating resources to providing and improving the Commander's journey as they progress, helping benefit members of Strike in the game. You may have noticed recent changes to some of our legendary and trial characters, showcase rewards. More changes are coming that we want to make sure that you were aware of. So, for example, we have to be mindful of the fact that they have been making farmability much better, right? And obviously these showcase rewards has given an opportunity really as kind of a catch-up mechanic. I've definitely noticed it for sure, especially when you take a look at the abundance of rewards that are available in the showcase, the additional EXP, like I said, the more resources coming for our leveling, and I think they're just trying to bridge that gap between folks that are trying to catch up to the end game or progress to the end game quicker, which is awesome to see. Character location updates. Our goal with the upcoming changes is that new commanders are going to have access to more of their favorite Marvel characters, who, as the meta shifts, will firmly more stand the test of time. This includes moving them to areas that realign with the progression requirements to help set and achieve goals. So really important here because they're giving us a heads up that there is definitely some ideas in the future here where they're going to be thinking about moving and shifting around farmable characters on the campaign nodes and stores. We haven't seen this happen too often, but it typically did happen in once in a blue moon, really, where they added and swapped in different characters. But if they're going to make this more of a ongoing thing, I think this is huge for just shifting in and out characters that are actually in the meta and are relevant, as opposed to some that have been in the campaign notes for pretty much the start of time here with the game. So really important to see that this is something they're thinking about and considering. Now, if you're a seasoned commander, this shouldn't change your day-to-day experience, so this is probably not going to impact the endgame players, just because many of us will have these characters fully unlocked and already upgraded to 7 yellow stars, so it won't matter whatsoever, right? But they're also going to point out here that some characters now will have multiple farm locations, making it even easier to access. So that's pretty big, because I think it is more important to have different avenues of farming meta characters, and as well making sure that you're using this bookmark feature here, where I do believe this is live in game already, where you can actually bookmark a character, so that way you can have an opportunity to quickly locate them and farm them quicker for reference. Legendary event changes. We've already seen this kind of happen with both the legendary scourges, where they've added additional traits so that it makes it easier for folks that are in the mid-game transitioning end game to unlock the horseman. But as well, we saw that they've cemented now the legendary trials, especially for the 3 that we know of, being Nova, Black Cat, and Green Goblin Classic, now with them being recurring, right? So more changes looks like are going to be coming, which is awesome to see. But it says more legendaries are also going to be receiving updates for easier access. So more specifically, they're looking at characters like Adam Warlock, Omega Red, Ebony Maw will be more readily available. And in my honest opinion, out of this mix, I think Omega Red's pretty much the only one I would kind of pay close attention to, just because he's still really useful, and statistically he's not too power crept. I even brought him into Dark Dimension 6, but I mean, I appreciate the updates. It makes it more accessible, but just be mindful of the fact that just because they're making legendary characters easier doesn't necessarily mean they're actually worth investing in. Just something to be mindful of. I think Adam Warlock can still have some value being part of Infinity Watch. Their team has definitely held their value in the span of time, which has been very impressive. But remember, with them not receiving reworks and updates to their kit, I mean, they're still very statistically dated, so just something to be mindful of. If they're revising them in terms of a kit, or maybe later on when we do see what the moments kind of feature is going to be detailed from us going through the Siege on Battle World, perhaps there's going to be an opportunity for us to see teams that aren't relevant become relevant once again. So definitely something to be more mindful of. Minion availability. This was previously mentioned already, but they're taking this away from the orbs and premium, which is nice because less availability of these characters and shards that we don't need increases the odds of us obviously having better character drops. And lastly, guys, when are the changes coming? Well, we've already seen a lot of changes coming, but they just wanted to give us a heads up. So I appreciate the communication. Additionally, this is not going to require downtime. It will have minimal play impact for normal and hard campaigns, and they're sending additionally some campaign energy to account for this. So we're getting this in the next major version update. So just something to be mindful of. But hopefully it's going to be smooth, aside from all the bugs and so forth when it does happen. But yeah, I think this is good, great communication. Loving it. Giving us a heads up what they're kind of planning on, the changes that have already kind of kicked in, and as well knowing that there is going to be some additional reworks coming in the future. But more and more, they are trying to bridge that gap between the mid game and end game, and trying to get folks that are maybe newer to the game or already sitting in the mid game to progress quicker, but as well getting to the end game content. So that's really where all the action is happening, right? So I definitely think this is a great step in the right direction. However, I do want to point out that, these changes are great, but, there's still some irrelevance to what they're doing, right? For example, making more characters farmable doesn't really matter at the end of the day if they're not in the meta, if they're not relevant. So hopefully these changes, my only thoughts is that hopefully these changes apply to relevant and meta characters, and that way it is actually giving more value to folks that are transitioning to the end game, but they're going to be ultimately building characters that don't become useless by the time they get to the end game. And yeah, there you guys have it. Quick and short blog post, but great to see that they're giving us this communication and really tailored towards the mid game, not so much end game players. But regardless, it's great that they're considering this because this is a big chunk of the community. So really, really important to consider this for sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Always a good update here, and I'm loving the communication from them. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.